right now. The Tide and the Tigers are deep into the SEC football season, and today, their game faces are on.
Honestly, our mindset is going in there to dominate.
Yep, you may want to hide the women and children because Baton Rouge could get crazy.
You really can't hear yourself think.
Top-ranked Alabama looks to win a 6th straight against the Bayou Bengals, and they need to slow this guy down.
You're not going to just beat them with one punch.
The Auburn Tigers ground game continues to roll behind big-time back Cameron Petway.
He's a bulldozer, and he's powerful.
Can the Commodores stop the Auburn offense?
We tried to just worry about going out and control what we can control, and it's worked, so why change it?
We have superhuman feats, elusive moves, and our co-hosts reminisce about when they played at Death Valley.
Dropped for a yard loss by Stanley McClover and Tommy Jackson.
New positions, new wrinkles. We're warming you up for your Tide and Tigers Saturday. Let's go.
Live with the full resources of the Raycom News Network, this is Tide and Tigers Today.
They have won 5 in a row against LSU. Of course, they won at Death Valley in 2012 and 2014. If you're a Bama fan, you're liking what you see. Top-ranked Bama, 15th-ranked LSU in hostile territory. We're breaking it down with facts and numbers. Now, the Auburn Tigers have won 5 in a row. They're looking to make it 6. An 11 a.m. Central Time kick at Jordan-Hare. Now, Lionel Richie won't be with the Commodores, but the players will be. Interesting game is the SEC's leading ground game. We'll get it going in just about 1 hour. And I'm telling you, what a beautiful morning it is for college football. We welcome you into Tide and Tigers today at the Raycom station in your hometown. And you talk about two beautiful men. Tommy Jackson and Roger Schultz joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, it's November,
I
gentlemen.
represent that remark.
You're looking good.
I
You're
do
looking
feel
good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's November, though. Legends are made.
Legends
right?
are made in November, baby.
November to
That's where you
remember.
getting it. That's where you getting it done.
We're getting you warmed up here at 11 o'clock Central Time, noon Eastern. First word, Schultz, what's on your
Well,
mind?
here's the first word. The college football playoff rankings came out. And to everybody's, I don't know if it was a surprise, but Texas A&M kind of snuck in there at number 4. Everybody thought it was going to be Washington. That's a great sign for the SEC. And Alabama fans expect to be number 1. But I think what's surprising a lot of people, Auburn in at number 9, a 2-loss team. They're kind of setting themselves up that they can run the table to get to the playoff picture.
All right, Mr. Aubie, you have kind words to say about Nick Saban, don't you?
Of course.
Unfortunately. Here's the reality. He is past the bear, people. I said it. I know I'm going to make a lot of Bammers mad, but quite frankly, Nick Saban is the GOAT, greatest of all time. There will never be another head football coach like Nick Saban. And quite frankly, other programs need to stop comparing themselves to Nick Saban, like Auburn. Because quite frankly, it's this. If Nick Saban is able to just be Nick Saban, let him retire. Then you'll actually see the coach that you have and be happy about that.
Yeah, I admire you. Hats off to you, the Auburn alum, giving it up for the Bama coach.
Gotta be
How about
honest.
that? Hey, you gotta be
He's
honest.
done a pretty good job. You can't argue.
That's right. Hey,
I mean, it wasn't a real reach. Pretty good coach.
This morning. Hey, Christina
good.
Chambers is in Baton Rouge following the Crimson Tide as they get ready to face LSU, and that's going to be crazy later tonight. Stephen Gunter at Auburn, as that game is just about 58 minutes away, and we'll hear from those two fine folks in just a bit. We're busy this morning on all sorts of front. Of course, LSU tailback Leonard Fournette, is he going to dominate? Well, Bama fans don't think so. He had 31 yards last season. We'll see what the game plan is later today. Cameron Petway's a beast. He's been ruling the Auburn running attack. 597 rushing yards in his last 3 games, so he has been on fire. The Alabama-LSU rivalry, how does it stack up against the Tennessee and Auburn games if you're a Bama fan? And could the Auburn pass defense somehow be an Achilles heel? We'll talk about that as well. Here's what you need to know. Bama-LSU, 7 o'clock Central on CBS. Tuscaloosa, Alabama a 7-point favorite. Auburn-Vandy, 11 a.m. Central. Vandy actually leads the all-time series, and they beat Auburn the last time they played back in 2012.
I lost that trivia.
Well, there you go. I got an interesting piece of trivia on the Auburn pass offense in just a little bit as well. We're going to go to Jordan-Hare Stadium in just a little bit as that game is getting close, but we got to talk Alabama-LSU because this is a big one, and Christina Chambers is in the middle of what will be a crazy crowd over the next several hours. Good morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, guys. That's right. You know, when you're at LSU, it's all about the food. Check out, they even roasted a hog all night long. You see the tailgaters right here. Check out the meat inside, guys. They're roasting the hog right now. They said it'll be ready about 1 o'clock. Doesn't that look good? They say when you're in Baton Rouge, it's all about the food. They have jambalaya. Like I said, they have this hog, guys, but it's also about Leonard Fournette, you see right here for these LSU Tigers. But guess what, guys? Alabama's defense is going to try and stop him like they did last year. Alabama's D held him to just 31 yards rushing last year. Now, although Fournette had missed some games earlier in the season to a sprained ankle, Alabama's defense knows stopping him will be key here tonight.
Leonard Fournette, probably, one of the most dynamic running backs that has played college football for a while.
They're going to be aggressive and they're going to come off the rock and try to run it down your throat. So they have a great running back duo back there in the backfield.
All 11 guys just got to come out and, play football. Everybody has to do their job. We have to do a great job of tackling and a great back.
This is not a trick 'em type situation. I mean, they're going to line up like they line up, and you're going to have to block them, and you're going to have to read what they do.
Any approaches, any other running back, you just have to come play Alabama football and just stop the run.
There's no magical potion for what you do relative to playing in a game like this.
It's really not that big because, you face great backs every week, guys who are going to play in the NFL.
I'm excited to play against him. I know he's a great back and everything, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge.
Like I said, we're not worrying about, we're going out there and to do our job and dominate.
They're very, very good at what they do, and we need to be very good at what we do.
Guys, Leonard Fournette's back. Like I said, he missed the first 3 games with an ankle injury, but check out these numbers he's put up in these 4 games. Wisconsin, he had 138. You see Mississippi State there. He put up 101 against Auburn. And how about 284 yards against Ole Miss, guys? Fournette has rushed for 100 yards in each of his past 7 games, which ties for the second longest active streak in FBS. But guys, don't forget about Alabama's defense. They rank atop in the FBS and rushing yards per game, 70.1, and they've only allowed 3 rushing touchdowns this season. Hey, and don't forget, they are really good at forcing turnovers and finding the end zone, guys. So look for this to be a key matchup here tonight.
Thank you, Christina. We will visit you later. That was a pig's head right there. You said you didn't know you could eat that.
They're going to turn that into hog head cheese, man. I'm telling you.
Here's the question among the LSU nation. Should Ed Orgeron be named permanent head coach? He seems to be a player's coach. They seem to love him. I want to put 60 seconds on the clock. You ready, Schultz?
I'm ready.
Tell me what you're thinking on that.
Well, listen, I think Ed Orgeron, it's a great story. He's going to be the greatest interim coach of all time. He did a great job at USC. He's going to do a great job at LSU, but is that the guy that you want in front of your program to go out there all the time? Can he sustain it? Yeah, because it's a change and everybody enthused and energized, and we'll see how it plays out. He's done a great job so far, but has he done anything different than what Les Miles would have done if he were coaching?
I would definitely say he's done something different than Les Miles. They're actually winning. They look like a different football team. They're actually playing physical football at the point of attack. They're actually running the football better. Leonard Fournette seems to have a second life with running the football. So I would definitely say Ed Orgeron is looking the part. And not only that, they look like they're overall, I'm just meaning from offense, defense, special teams, they look tougher. So I think he should definitely get the job.
Well, they're taking shots deep, and there was a lot of talk that he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell unless he wins this game today of getting the head coaching job. And that's a big thing for him today. And if he gets it, I've heard some of the high-ups are kind of liking how he's run the program. Has he changed from when he was the coach at Ole Miss? He says he has. And we'll see. Only time will tell.
It's starting to look like it.
It looks like he has because, he got in there and had grueling practices and took his shirt off and wanted to fight everybody. And, so he's come out and said, hey, listen, I'm changed. He does fit the pro. He's that guy.
He's a football guy.
He's a Louisiana guy.
Right.
It takes a certain guy to coach at LSU.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he is a tough guy.
He's one of those guys, but he's got to win out.
Yeah, speaking of tough guys, Nick Saban turned 65
last
month on Halloween. Is that unbelievable?
Yeah, it's crazy.
He looks great. We're going to go back to Baton Rouge later on in this hour, and we're going to be visiting Jordan-Hare Stadium next. But Saban to the break. Did he get any interesting birthday presents on Monday?
We better get
I'm sure
victory
he did.
today. A victory today.
Not really. I only got one, and it was one of those things where you push the the button and says that's bullshit. It's the only one I got. So I don't know if somebody's trying to tell me something or what.
You are looking live at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. What's it like for a player to play in this venue? Roger and Tommy will be touching on that later in this program. Well, welcome back into Titan Tigers Today at the Raycom TV station in your hometown. And the former star of The Biggest Loser picks his biggest losers each week. I want to first tell the folks how you did last week, Roger. You had a pretty good week.
Oh, I'm sure I did.
You went
3-1, right?
you went 3-1. You had Oregon State losing wrong, but you had FSU, Nebraska, Utah losing, so those are right.
Hey, that's not too bad right there.
I mean, that's pretty good. And I like that picture there too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tommy, you went 2-2, so you had Oregon State, Wisconsin losing. So
yeah, you know, I'm at 500 right now. It hurts pretty bad. It does. It hurts.
Yeah, I'm at 500. Okay, Roger, who's losing today? What do you think?
All right, here's who I got for the biggest losers today. Of course, there's going to be some big games here. I've got Georgia's going to lose to Kentucky. We're going to wake up tomorrow, and Kentucky's going to lead the East. Because I got Florida losing to Arkansas. How about that? In Missouri, well, Missouri's Missouri. And then I've got the upset, calling it tonight.
Wow.
I was surprised by Nebraska last week. And I think Ohio State's not that good of a team. And I think Nebraska gets the upset in the horseshoe tonight.
That's a gutsy pick.
All right, DJ.
All right, people. So we're going to do it like this. I'm picking Georgia to lose. Georgia's not a good football team. Looked awful last week, by the way. So then I got Arkansas actually going down to Florida, people. Yes, Arkansas going down to Florida. It's shocking to see this.
Florida's going to Arkansas.
You know, I said going down. Going down. Going down.
Down to the
Missouri.
Down. Okay.
Missouri going down as well. And then you look at Nebraska. You know, I saw Nebraska play last week. I wasn't that impressed. Wisconsin gave them the business. I wasn't impressed.
What are you talking about? It went to overtime.
No,
I was
still wasn't
surprised.
impressed.
I thought Wisconsin was going to drill them, and they didn't. I was more surprised by Nebraska.
You're supposed to pull that game out. You're supposed to pull that out.
It was Camp
Not
Randall. It's
impressed.
a hostile environment. I think they beat Ohio
Nebraska's
State.
supposed to be a better team than Wisconsin, and they end up going to overtime with them. I guess I look at it different.
Well, you know what?
They weren't a better team. Wisconsin was a better team than Nebraska.
One team's not going to lose.
By the way,
today.
I was 3-1, and you were 2-2.
Probably Auburn, right? I mean, I don't think Auburn's going to go down at Jordan-Hare Stadium, but you never know. Let's check in with Stephen Gunter. You know, that game at Jordan-Hare is about 45 minutes away. Good morning to you, Steve.
Yeah, they're missing him too. Yeah, they're missing him too.
Stephen has the microphone problem. It's the dreaded mic.
Yes.
It happened.
It happened.
Okay, it wasn't my headphone. Okay.
Right.
It wasn't your headphone.
I thought it was me.
Well, I'm going to do his elements for him.
Yeah,
Cameron Petway, what a beast this guy is, man.
Yes.
Huh?
Right,
He
yeah.
runs
I'm
that
telling
football,
you,
man.
597 yards in his last 3 games. What's the secret?
You know, well, they're giving him the ball.
Yeah, they're
It's
giving him
running
the ball.
downhill. It's downhill running old school, old-fashioned Auburn football, and I like to see that. Let the big back eat.
Yeah,
And
let the
I'll
big
tell you
back
another
eat.
thing, too. Now, let's not forget, when you start having success as a running back, you got to give credit to the big offensive line.
Daggone right.
And Herb Hand has done a great job, and this offensive line for Auburn is developing to one of the best offensive lines in the country.
Absolutely.
And I think that's part of the key.
You ready to hear what the Tigers have to say?
Yes.
Sure.
They
All
better
day.
say O-line.
He's a super person, first of all. Fine young man. He's running so physical.
I knew he had so much talent in him. I knew he had so much more to give to this offense, and I'm just happy that they are, letting him have this opportunity.
He's a real weapon right now. He's running really hard.
Yeah, I think I get stronger as a back as I carry the ball and get a feel of the game.
He's protecting the football. He's getting more and more comfortable.
He's a bulldozer, and he's powerful, and just watching him too. After I make that block and watching him down the field just run people over, it's fun.
He just done a good job of going downhill. He'd be the first to tell you it's because his guys up front are blocking well for him.
I have a lot of confidence in my offensive line. So when I have confidence in them, I mean I can run the ball. And when Sean White completes passes, it's just open up for us even more.
I love watching that, and he's strong, just big.
Him and Carolyn have kind of done a good job brother-in-law on it right now. He's got the hot hand.
He does look people up. I told him it's okay every now and then to fake, and run by him. But he really likes looking him up and running him over.
He's a good kid, and he's humble about it.
We're obviously really fortunate that he's running the ball like he is.
Man, stronger by the week. Look at Petway's last 3 games. 169 yards against State, 192 Arkansas, 236 Ole Miss. How many against Vanderbilt? He could top the 236.
I think he's going to be close to 300 this game, I'm telling you. He's going to be scared. Oh, yes.
First of all, Derek Mason's the defensive coach. He's taking over the defense of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt plays great defense. Zach Cunningham from Pinson. Isn't Zach Cunningham from Pinson?
Yes, Pinson Valley.
He's the greatest. He's the best defensive football player in the SEC that nobody knows about. And I'm going to tell you that Auburn's going to win this game, but it's not a cakewalk. This isn't your Vanderbilt team of the past. It's going to be a battle. They're good on defense.
They're playing East teams. Playing East teams is like playing Alabama high school football.
It's still going to be close.
Let me ask you this. Is Auburn the second best team in the SEC? Let's do 60 seconds here. All right? Okay. I mean, it could depend on tonight's game. Tommy, give it a shot. What are you thinking?
Well, I'll tell you now, they are absolutely the second best team in the SEC, and the great part about it, they'll have an opportunity to prove they're the best team in the Iron Bowl. Great part about it is Auburn has found a way to establish who they are, which is the running game through Petway. And quite frankly, it is up front. Look at how those guys are handling their blocks, man. The combination blocks, they're getting up to the second level and destroying linebackers. Well, it looks amazing. And not only that, when Sean White's complete passes and he's running the ball effectively, Auburn is a completely different football team.
Yes, they are. Are they number 2 in the SEC? No. Look at the college football rankings. Who's number 4? Texas A&M. Oh, by the way, has Auburn played Texas A&M this year? I don't know. Oh, yes, they lost to them. So right now, Texas A&M is the second best team in the Southeastern Conference. And tonight, we'll find out if LSU creeps up a little bit. We'll find out who's the third best. Auburn or LSU, we're going to find out who the third best team is.
I tell you what, just because Texas A&M beat them early in the year, this is a different Auburn football team. And quite frankly, as you should know this, it doesn't matter how you are in September, October, it's about November. And November, my friend, is actually what's going to make you a legend or a champion.
Yeah, well, I mean, Texas A&M still got one loss.
They still got teams to play. They got teams to play.
Lots more to talk about this morning, including, as we go to the break, a reminder, hot fried chicken.
Yes.
All the rage now.
By the way, we have sampled it.
Yes,
have you?
It's very good.
I can tell. Rebecca, you ready for these guys?
You're taking the hottest food trend and turning it into a tailgating must. Y'all need to learn how to make this hot fried chicken slider in honor of the Alabama and Auburn matchups.
Hot chicken. Be back.
We love hot chicken.
Hot chicken. They're cooking up some hogs and.
Oh, look at that!
You ever do that? Ever cook a hog there?
I tell you what, I love.
I mean, that takes hours, right?
Yeah, but I love the outfit.
Yes, that is fashion forward, man.
You gotta love that.
You gotta have the striped pants. Those
those
are the Indiana warm-up basketball pants.
Yeah, they are.
How do you folks deal with trash talking, or how did you when you were a player? Let's tell you what Dwayne Thomas of LSU has said about Alabama. This was a number of days ago. He says, "Look, I really see us dominating this team. This is the year we've been letting them off the hook the last couple of years. I think we have the edge to take it to them. We're going to take it to them. I feel like we will dominate." Do players pay attention to this stuff, right?
Well, I think they used to in the past. I think Nick Saban's got this team so like that white noise doesn't bother.
Well, when you were
Alabama.
a player too, you didn't have the social media.
No, what was so funny about it when we were talking about this earlier, when I was a player, you know, you kind of told it to the media guy. The guy put it in the paper. The paper went out the next day. The next day, the Wire picked it up. So it took like 3 days to trash talk.
The Pony Express.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while. These guys have instantaneous. Anybody can say anything right on
Twitter,
the bat.
man.
Yeah, that's right.
Twitter.
It's going to be the death of all of us, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not. I don't think it's going to motivate them too much. I think Alabama feels confident. But you know, if you're a player, you want to think that you're. There's not a game I didn't go into when I was at the University of Alabama. I didn't think we were going to win and sure. Kick their butt.
You just do what you do. Leonard Fournette, 31 yards against Alabama last season. He's been a beast when he has been healthy in 2016. What's with this guy as far as Alabama containing him? They've been just tremendous against him.
Well, I'll tell you now, again, Leonard Fournette, I know he plays great against a lot of other teams, but against Alabama, that is his worst nightmare. It takes him too long to get started, quite frankly. In other words, he's one of those backs, as the game goes on, he's going to get stronger, but he also needs a greater depth. The problem with Alabama's defensive line, they're big, they're strong, and they control the line of scrimmage. They usually knock your line of scrimmage back. If your offensive line sits in your lap, you can't get going. He gets killed.
Man, they are tough, man. Leading the nation in rush defense at about 70 yards per game. Let's continue the Alabama-LSU conversation by revisiting Christina. She is just outside Tiger Stadium. Welcome back in, Christina.
That's right, guys. And you know what? They're trying to get me to kiss the hog, and they named it Big Hal.
Come on, there we go.
He can give me a kiss, but I can't can't kiss it. They've named the hog Big Al, guys. But this Alabama-LSU rivalry is a day that Tiger fans sort of dread, considering LSU has dropped 5 consecutive games to Alabama and Nick Saban since Nick Saban's been at Alabama. But this year things are different. For the first time since 2004, Alabama will be facing an LSU team coached other than Les Miles. Sheldon Haygood has more on this rivalry.
If Nick Saban mentions rivalry when talking about an opponent, then you know it's a big game.
It's kind of developed into a rivalry game of sorts because both been ranked over the last 8 or 9 years, most of the time in the top 10.
So LSU is not just an ordinary game.
We kind of really get into this one just with the fans and atmosphere, especially for this game, night game in Death Valley. So we get pretty hyped up for this game.
LSU represents the challenge a team like Bama that has few equals can really get excited about.
Both programs have great players, and I think whenever you get the chance to see so much talent on the field, it always makes it a great game.
And because of that, it appears LSU garners a special focus and interest that seems to bring out the very best in Alabama, and is part of the reason why the Crimson Tide has won 5 straight in this series.
We study a lot of film, we kind of pick up on some tendencies, and we just study film hard and go out there and execute.
You're not going to win the game off emotion, and you're not going to win the game off adrenaline, so it's going to be important that we keep our poise.
We'll find out who we are, what we're made out of, and how we can compete in a very difficult circumstance.
In other words, it's a rivalry not matched in recent years for the Tide. I'm Sheldon Haygood for Tide and Tigers Today.
Check out the streaky series, guys. Alabama has won 5 straight from 2012 to 2015. LSU won back-to-back in 2010, 2011. Alabama then won back-to-back in 08 and 09, and then LSU won 5 straight before that. Since 1997, this series stands at 10-10, guys. Alabama has won its past 2 trips here at Death Valley, both on the strength of late scores, guys. So let me get your prediction. What do you think the outcome's going to be tonight?
LSU 31-20.
Oh, and what about the pig? Can he?
He says 34-15.
Okay, what about you?
I say 24-21.
Okay, there's their predictions. As long as that hog stays away from me, I'm good, guys. That's my prediction.
Kiss the hog! Kiss the hog! Kiss the hog! Kiss the hog!
Kiss the
hog! Kiss the hog!
Come on, kiss it! You've kissed worse.
That's what I'm talking about.
Kiss the hog. What a team player.
Yeah, get the.
She's awesome.
That's terrible.
Perhaps the best way to really feel what it's like to play in that stadium is talking to you guys.
Oh.
So we've gone to the vault.
No.
We're going to 1989. Roger Schultz, the big center for Alabama, number 66 in this video. A lot of cut blocks here.
Yeah.
You took care of LSU 32-16.
I drove him right over the pile.
Unbelievable. Man, Saran had a big night. What's it like playing in that stadium?
Well, I love playing that stadium because you got to realize too, back then you didn't get to play a whole lot of night games. So a night game in Baton Rouge, that used to be the thing, right? That was LSU's thing. You got night games in Baton Rouge. They're wearing their, and I loved going there and playing. You walk in, it smells like bourbon and vomit. I mean, it's kind of whoop. They're going to have a good time here. And of course, '89, man, was a great year. We sealed the opportunity to go we were undefeated at that time and sealed our.
It's a nice win, man,
yeah.
in hostile territory. Tommy, I want to take you back to 2005. You lost in overtime 20-17. Let's go to the video and look at Roger. Look at Tommy arm in arm with Coach Tuberville.
That's cute.
No, that's
that
not. Watch this when he comes out. Look at number 58.
That's right, man.
Oh, man, sucking up to the head coach.
Not
and
at
you
all.
had a couple sacks, man. You played pretty well.
Hey, brother, we had to get at him. And I tell you now, you talking about going there, the ground is shaking. It's so loud. But in reality, that's the only one loss we had in 2 years of any SEC team. I hate Baton Rouge. You say vomit, I say it smells like burnt trash.
Well, look at
I
this.
hate
Look
that
at
place,
you.
man.
You didn't miss any meals back there.
Hey, I'm a nose
exactly
tacker. That means I'm full of muscle, because I'm telling you now.
It looks exactly the
I'm
same.
full of muscle.
Oh, you're
that
full of
means,
something. That's for sure.
Don't be a hater, son. I tell you what, them cut blocks wouldn't have happened. You would have played us back then.
I cut all day long. That's the best block ever.
Yeah,
hey, I
man,
cut
please.
Coach Stallings one time. He came over to yell at me, and I just cut him.
Oh,
He cut block and rolled off.
I'm sure he did.
He would leg whip his mom. I believe
You
it.
dang him right until you break your leg.
We're going to Jordan-Hare Stadium after the break. They're just about a half hour away from kickoff. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood coming up. The Jackson 5 as well to the break with Minka. Mr. Fitzpatrick moving over to safety. He comments. We're back after the break.
I want to really watch more film, but I just got to look at different things. You know, at corner, I really look at the receivers a little bit more. And now I got to kind of watch the offensive line, and tight ends, and running back to see how they play their game.
We're less than a half hour away from the big game at Jordan-Hare. You're looking live at the Gus Bus. Auburn favored by about 26 points over the Vanderbilt Commodores. We'll visit with Stephen Gunter momentarily. Man, you mentioned the Louisiana connection to Alabama. Tim Williams from Baton Rouge, Cam Robinson, Hootie Jones. I mean, they've got some Louisiana connections,
well, yeah, they've
right?
got some Louisiana connections. That makes this game exciting.
Very
and we're going
much
to talk
so.
about the rivalry. Aren't we sometime today?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. At true or false, you ready?
Oh,
and you love this because you got 50-50 chance. True or false, let me ask you, Tom. Cameron Petway is the best running back in the Southeastern Conference. What do you think?
Absolutely true. I mean, the guy's come in this quickly, and look how many yards he has. Almost 1,000 yards rushing and ran that much. Come on, man. This guy's an animal. He makes the Auburn football team look like a contender.
He asked you if he was the best running back in the SEC, not at Auburn.
Absolutely. Stop it. Get out of here.
I'm just saying Leonard Fournette's still in the conference. Chubb's still in the conference.
He's better than both of them.
933 yards.
No, he's a great running back.
Almost 1,000 yards and then start the year that way.
All right, true or false, Roger? Shaun White doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
That is absolutely true. I think he's doing a good job. You know, there's something to be said for being a game manager. He's got the highest pass efficiency rating in the Southeastern Conference, if not the country. He's up there at the top. He's doing a great job distributing the ball, handling the ball, carrying off his face, runs when he has to, and I guarantee he's not getting enough. Hey, he didn't win his coaches over till halfway through the season.
Right, he's done a great job, and again, he does lead the nation in that efficiency rating. But look at the hard chargers for Auburn over the last 5 games. They've won 5 in a row by an average winning score of 41-12. Again, Shaun White very strong. Petway with at least 100 rushing yards in those games. They haven't allowed a rushing touchdown on the defensive side of the ball, so very impressive. All right, true or false, Bama's Jonathan Allen will win the Outland Award as the nation's top interior lineman. That's kind of a dumb question, but
absolutely true. Absolutely true. He might even he should get to go to New York for the Heisman. This guy's a game changer. He requires double teams. He affects the game in every phase of it. I'm telling you, the guy's amazing.
Well, and he's got a Heisman highlight moment right there. I mean, the Superman dive right there.
Really is good.
He's going to win the Outland. He should probably be invited because he's getting a lot of publicity now. You know, and Alabama's going to be near the top. So.
All right, how about the Sackmasters though? From Alabama and from LSU. First in the SEC is Key from the Tigers, and then Williams and Allen and Anderson all in the top 10. I tell you, some big-time defensive players.
Alabama leads the nation in sacks, 4 sacks a game.
Hey, true or false, LSU has the most passionate fans in the SEC.
False.
False, all right. Tell me who does.
Alabama.
Auburn. Easy.
I mean, that's just no-brainer.
You take a look at this
There's a
guy.
difference between.
These people are gross.
Am I being too nice by saying they're passionate?
Yeah, because I want to call it some other words.
Drunk.
Crazy.
Insane.
Dumb.
Nuts.
Idiots.
Right.
All of it.
Psychopaths.
Sociopath. I know. These people are crazy. Whenever an old lady looks like she's about 70, 80 years old, and she moons you on the way in, I've been painted.
You were mooned by an 80-year-old.
We got mooned by an old lady. It was awful.
Hey, you know how she mooned? She lifted the skirt.
No.
Hello, are we still on?
Hey,
anyway,
no.
Jackson 5, you talk about the toughest places to play in the Southeastern Conference. You've got LSU at the top of your list. Give me what you got.
All right, so we definitely got LSU. Everybody knows that. It's really hard to play at LSU. The funny part about it is, then you got Gainesville. Everybody knows it's hard to play down there in Florida, man. They sit right on top of you. I think it's definitely hard for anybody to come to Jordan-Hare to get a win. Then you're going to go and you're going to head over to Athens. I'm telling you, it's hard to play between those hedges. And Tennessee. Knoxville is one of those places for most people. It's very hard to get it done. They got 110,000.
Alabama not on the list. It doesn't really intimidate.
Well, we beat them 4 years in a row, so you know I would imagine.
I guess it's obviously this is his poll.
Hey, I wouldn't imagine. Oh, I think that's
nobody.
Most people.
Well, I mean, no.
It is the Jackson 5.
They don't lose too many.
It is the Jackson 5.
I mean, they don't. I mean,
exactly.
It's beautiful.
They a whole lot of SEC teams rolling in Tuscaloosa winning.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood in just a little bit, so he's going to get a little payback here. Hey, let's go to the break. We're going back to Jordan-Hare Stadium to visit with Stephen Gunter in just a little bit as he's going to be talking some defense. O.J. Howard, he knows what Tiger Stadium's like. We're back after the break.
So far, I've been here in every game that I've seen LSU play before I even got here. It was always a great matchup. You know, I think the rivalry between us is pretty intense. I think, you know, it speaks for itself every year on the field, the game. It's going to be a great one.
Payback time, Schultz. Who's tough enough to get into Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Hey, Alex Kozan has to get in there. That Auburn, hey, the running game's doing good. The offensive line's doing good. Alex Kozan's been the guy that's been around. And he had an opportunity to meet little Hash Mark. Kind of gave him a little squeeze on the shoulder there.
So how old's your son
I approve
now,
of this.
He's 14, but when he saw him there, he was, I think, 11.
Okay, so 14 years old. How much
12.
does he weigh?
He's 230 pounds.
230 pound 14-year-old. Okay,
Yeah.
future
Hey, but
offensive lineman.
he's,
There you
he's
go.
like 12 in that thing.
I approve your pick.
Hey, that was, yeah. Well, they're doing a great job, and Herb Hand's done a great job, and
He is.
Kozan's a great guy. By the way, he went to high school with Christian McCafferty. So
Okay,
he's definitely
Christian
having a better
McCaffrey,
year
yep.
than Christian McCaffrey.
One guy who's going to be watching Alex today is Stephen Gunter, and he joins us now from Jordan-Hare Stadium. We're closing in on the big game. Stephen?
Hey guys, we are counting down 21 minutes right now until kickoff between Auburn and Vanderbilt. An early kickoff, guys have their caffeine in. Just some quick updates. Trey Williams, the linebacker, he is dressed out for this game. He's been dinged up, but he has not been announced as a starter for Auburn. They just went into the locker rooms just moments ago. Another quick update, Sean White announced as the starting quarterback on the Jumbotron, but he did not go through a lot of the warm-ups, 11 on 11 and things like that. Actually, John Franklin III ran with the first team, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. As I said, Sean announced as a starter, but we'll see who trots out on the field when they kick off at 11:01. But let's flip it to the defense. Auburn coming in this year, obviously been turning heads with that defensive front. The total defense, 5th in the SEC right now. Vanderbilt offense, 14th total offense in the SEC. So Vandy offensively can struggle against this Auburn defense. My goodness, they were put to the test last week in Oxford. Made the trip over there myself. Chad Kelly looked awfully impressive against the Auburn defense, especially that secondary. They gave up chunks and chunks of yardage, but Josh Holsley made the final play to seal the deal. Auburn defense continues to improve and improve, and I think they'll take another massive step against Vandy today.
Tell you what, I think our defense has done a good job all year.
We feel like we have, the upper hand in every game just from what our coach is telling us to do.
They really kept us in some games even when we weren't playing very well offensively early. And I think they're just getting more and more confidence.
We've been improving as a defense this whole year. And last week was another step in our journey.
There's going to be struggles in this process, and you just got to keep going.
It's just for our leadership group to keep everybody level-headed and to keep everybody with the same mindset.
They've been pretty mature because of our leadership in the room. I think that was probably became more evident in the open week when there was all the reason in the world to lose a little bit of the edge in practice, and they really did it because of the leadership on the team.
We're trying to keep our eyes on the prize and just stay focused and just take it one game at a time.
You got to be mentally tough, and you got to be confident, but at the same time, you got to understand that you got to keep working. You got to have the same mentality each week. It doesn't matter what happens. You got to have the same mentality to keep improving.
All right, guys, last week at Oxford, you kind of thought, uh-oh, look what Chad Kelly's doing. Just shred right through that Auburn defense. My goodness, to start the game. He had 3 touchdowns, 505 total yards, 465 passing from Mr. Kelly. But, hey, if you're Auburn, you almost want Vandy to throw for over 400 yards because Auburn is 8-0 when quarterbacks throw for over 400 yards against. A pretty interesting stat there. I don't know if Vandy will top 400 against this Auburn defense, but they continue to improve. I think they'll be a lot better this week against the Commodores. As we count down to kickoff now, 18 minutes, we have some parachuters dropping into Jordan-Hare Stadium. As kickoff, we count down to Auburn versus Vanderbilt. Guys?
All right, guys, we'll rejoin you with the X Factor in just a little bit. Talk about that pass defense a little bit, guys. Chad Kelly, that's Chad Kelly. It's not a normal quarterback, right?
No, Chad Kelly's the best quarterback in the SEC.
Right.
Listen, he threw for 400 yards against Alabama.
Sure,
The guy
right.
can throw. He can throw the football because he runs the offense. If he goes His offense is basically like, he goes in there and goes, go deep.
Right.
Go deep. And I mean,
he has first-round talent, talent arm. Really.
And so to compare
him to anybody.
Right. I just,
overblown, is it? So
yeah, because he's too good. There's not another quarterback in the SEC like that.
He's playing on Sundays.
And I
you
can't tell you,
remember.
and Vanderbilt's quarterback, we don't even know who that is. I mean, who's Vanderbilt's quarterback?
The guy's going to play on Sundays, man. People can't compare what he does to people, and especially with the way he reads these
and
defenses.
Overreact. Yeah, it's not like, because they said the same thing about Alabama's secondary when he played them too. I mean,
a couple months ago, Gus was on the hot seat. Okay, say he wins out in, even up until the Bama game, if he loses the Iron Bowl, whichever. Right. I mean, he's firm, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Nowhere, right?
Listen, they're not about to go and give this guy a payout and then they're going to try to find another guy that can't do a good job as he's done. It was tough in the beginning. It really was, and people lost a lot of faith in Gus. But what you've seen Gus do is rally these guys, gave up the offensive coordinating spot. He let Lashley do his job, and now check him out. They're actually getting it done on offense, running the football, being efficient with the football passing. They're good.
Man, when Gus scores points and his players score points, he's successful in his career now. 20-plus points team-wise. He's 32-6 over 30, 27-5 over 40, 16-2. That makes sense when you score that many points. You're sold on this guy as well.
Oh, he's solid. He's done a great job of adjusting. That's what you want to see your head coach do. And that's kind of what's given Orgeron a little bit of play in LSU is he's adjusting. The guys are playing. But Malzahn's solid. He's done a great job. He fired himself basically as the offensive coordinator and let the guys run the thing. And he's being a head coach and coming up with a scheme, the plan to run the team.
I think
good job.
I think the difference was when he just switched the visor to
It
the
might have
hat.
been,
I mean, you never know.
You never know.
Who knows? It's a strange
It's
sport.
all his wife's credit.
Speaking of strange, hot fried chicken. You
I
ready?
love it. I can smell it.
These folks are putting on the aprons and they're going to cook up with Rebecca. You ready for these folks?
I am ready. We're getting some finishing touches on our sweet tea moonshine cocktails, so y'all come on back.
Moonshine cocktails?
I've
didn't
not
mention
heard of
that.
such a thing.
We're in the kitchen with Rebecca Gordon, as always.
Yeah.
Buttermilk lipstick. You can join us. It's a great time. We love this part of it.
Yes, we get to eat.
Okay, yes, and y'all, we have a lot to cover today. We are making a Nashville icon, hot fried chicken. It's a hot national item as well. Everybody's loving it.
Okay.
And so we're going to turn it into po' boy sliders, and we're going to top it with a Creole coleslaw. So I want to start by talking about just our chicken real quick. I have soaked this in a buttermilk and hot sauce mixture with a little Creole seasoning. For you can just soak it, dip it, and then put it into your flour mixture that has been dredged with a little Creole seasoning. That's our Alabama LSU nod. And then we're going to fry it at 360 degrees until it's done. And it'll come out looking like this over here, but we need to toss it into a hot mixture. So that's what you're going to work on right now, TJ, is a little hot patrol. So I've got some butter in the bowl here. It's traditionally made with lard, but I like the flavor of butter better, so we're going to start with butter. We've got a little brown sugar going in to give it a little sweet touch, right? And then I've got a good bit of smoked paprika going in. That's going to give it a nice smoky. Right. We're going to no chipotle. But a half a cup of hot sauce is going in there as well. So that's going to marry with that Creole seasoning, give it lots of nice layers of heat. So once you mix that together, I'd like for you to toss some of the hot fried chicken in there. And then I have a couple of slider buns. I actually made those homemade. Because
that is awesome.
Yeah, so buttermilk slider buns. And then if you'll top it with a little coleslaw, we need to help talk coleslaw.
Yes.
Over here for the Alabama LSU matchup, the po' boy aspect.
Po' boy,
yeah.
To the hot slider.
In the bowl, I have one 10-ounce package of angel hair coleslaw mix. I need you to put in a half a cup of mayonnaise.
I can do that. I think that's half a cup.
Yep, that's a half cup right there.
All right.
And then I have 2 tablespoons of Creole seasoning that'll go in there. And this is something super, yes.
Oh, that's not mustard?
That's Creole mustard.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is stuff that you probably already have on hand in your pantry. So, I mean, easy stuff. And then you've got a half teaspoon of salt going in. And then we have some garlic going in to give it that nice sort of Creole remoulade sort of flavor. And then some scallions going in there. And that'll give some nice flavor. And then if you'll put a little extra pepper in there.
No problem. I can do it.
Awesome.
Put some pepper in
And once you stir that together, we're going to let it stand for about 5 minutes or so. It's going to seem dry at first, but once it stands, you'll notice that it'll be ready to roll on top of our sliders.
All righty,
now,
I can do that, Rebecca.
Doing? Awesome.
Yeah, we put a little coleslaw over here on the sliders.
Look at you. Those are looking so good. And please take a bite if you'd like to.
Oh, I will.
And tell
Don't
me
you
what
worry.
you think.
Don't you worry.
And I'm going to check on our
bites.
chicken in here. And then to kind of finish this out, we've got some moonshine sweet tea cocktails. This is so easy to do. It starts with sweet tea. And then a Nashville American-born moonshine is what we're using today. And then I was finishing off the Auburn version. I've got a White Lightning Tiger tea for you, TJ. And then a Pachyderm moonshine punch for you, Roger. And that's sort of a play off of a Yellowhammer cocktail that Alabama is so known for.
Right.
That is awesome.
It's unbelievable, man. This is easy. This is what we love to do.
I know it.
Listen, if you want to get these recipes, it's really simple. All you got to do is go, Rebecca, tell them where to go. I don't need to tell them. I go every day.
Come see me at ButtermilkLipstick.com for all of the ideas that you see here today, everything we've been tailgating with all season long, and follow me on Facebook.
Yes, if you want to be a hit and be popular, go to the website. I'm just telling you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll love you.
The
Hey,
food is
Rick,
delicious.
we're going to bring you some, I don't know if we're going to bring a moonshine or a slider.
Oh, we're going to bring them a slider and moonshine.
No, bring them sliders and we can keep the moonshine.
All right, yeah, after talking with you guys, moonshine might be appropriate. Hey, X Factor's coming up. The picks, the keys to the game. Can Tiger Stadium really make a difference in the result of a game? Coach O checking in. We're back.
Yes, it does. It's an intimidating place to play. I've been on the other side. But here's what I tell our guys. Big plays fuel emotion. They're there. You got to give them something to cheer about. And obviously I know it's going to be very loud. It's going to be hard for those guys to make adjustments and calls when our fans are screaming. It is an advantage, no question.
Welcome back in. We're here for a couple more minutes with some final thoughts, and you get the hot chicken. You all right?
Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
sweat on the forehead.
Yeah,
there.
Good stuff.
Hey,
My
yeah.
nose is running, but nobody can tell. Thank
We
goodness.
want the X Factors before we make your picks. They got the anthem going at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We're going to check in with Stephen Gunter in just a little bit, but we do want to start with Christina Chambers in Baton Rouge. What are you thinking, Christina?
That's right, guys. I think my X factor is going to be the hog, and I'm going to take the pork that's ready right now. But for Alabama, the key factor is going to be disrupting the backfield, stopping Leonard Fournette, and forcing quarterback Danny Etling to throw. Alabama leads the FBS with 32 sacks, guys, and they've only allowed 70.1 rushing yards per game, which tops the country. Alabama is going to be very disruptive. They've had several defensive touchdowns, so look for them to put a stop to the run and through the air, be disruptive, and they will get it done here tonight. Steven, what's it going to take for the Tigers against Vanderbilt?
Well, Christina, I'm going to take the easy way out in this one and go with the hottest back in the nation. Cameron Petway from Auburn is my X factor. We know Vanderbilt's defense pretty solid, so I think Cameron getting going, continuing on his hot streak. The guy, every time he touches the ball, he's putting up a career day. 236 last week against Ole Miss. What can he do today against the Commodores? This guy is 7th in the nation in rushing. He's #1 in the SEC, and guys, he didn't even have carries in 2 of Auburn's ball games this year. Imagine what he could have done if he was getting the rock 30 times against Clemson or even La Monroe in those games. This guy is very good. Saw him at Prattville during his high school days. He's added on a little bit of muscle mass since then, but he is still just as quick. Give me Cameron Petway as my X factor versus the Commodores. Guys?
All right, so it looks like a great crowd, and what a great day for some football.
Oh, man, finally got a little bit of weather.
Man,
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, if you had to pick 3 keys to the Bama game, Mr. Bammer,
Yes?
give them to me. What do you
All
think?
right, here are my 3 keys to the game. It's called Alabama's rush defense, Alabama's rush offense, and, of course, special teams. Stop the run, establish the run, and special teams.
All right.
That's when big games like this.
Well,
always comes
give
down
me
to
your
special
picks then, based on all this. What's going to go down today?
Alabama's going to win this game 36-17.
Okay, Auburn. You like Auburn?
I like Auburn. This
Not
one,
by
27-10.
26 points, though.
No. Vanderbilt's got a good defense. They can't score, but.
Yep. There you go. All right, Tommy Jackson, 3 keys to the Auburn game today.
Ironically, your keys sound like my keys. Auburn running the football. That's important. Keep doing what you're doing with Petway. Pound the ball. You got to stop Vander from running the ball. Your run defense is important because that controls the clock, and you can't let Vander hang around. You got to punch him out and punch him out early. Get it over with.
The picks.
So
Give me
definitely,
numbers.
for me, I got Auburn winning 24-14, and I got Alabama winning 34-21. Again, I just feel like, I know people keep saying that spread is around 30, but it'll be a little closer than that.
All right, here you go. Hot fried chicken sliders. Pretty good stuff, huh?
You like?
I mean, you like it? There you go.
Looks awesome.
Hey, can I give you my last word?
Yes.
Sure.
You know, his Halloween was Monday. This little
Yes.
kid named Jack Crocker over in Northport, Alabama, he dressed as Jalen Hurts. Don't you love this kid?
Oh, that's
He's
awesome.
a 6-year-old kid. His great-grandfather played for Coach Bryant. What did you dress up as for Halloween, Roger?
Jalen Hurts. That's kind of ironic.
Oh, so you didn't go trick-or-treating, huh? Yourself?
No.
That's it.
I got a kid. I give out the candy.
Yeah. And how about Ashley Ward's friend dressing up as her, too, huh?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
I saw that.
That was awesome, too. Hey, that's it for now. We are so glad you joined us. We got to eat, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So Roger,
I want hot
Tommy,
chicken.
Rebecca, everybody behind the scenes, have a
Hands.
great day, great sports. We'll see you here next week. Same time, same place. Auburn's up first. Bama, 7 o'clock Central tonight.
Woohoo! Let's go, baby! LSU hate week!